Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for tuning in for what I think is going to be a really fun episode today. Going to get into a little bit of discussion on and show some examples of the Topps Retired Legends short print variations that existed in the Topps flagship baseball card release for a few years, running here in the 21st century. Really love these cards. I've always enjoyed collecting them. And while I certainly don't have them all, I did pull out a nice stack of cards that I've never shown on the channel before that all fit this category. So let's talk a little bit about some background and what these cards are exactly. So here's an example from the first year that they did these, 2009. This is a Carl Yastrzemski 2009 Topps card. Obviously his playing career wound down decades prior to 2009. And the normal card number 660, we can see here, would be an active subject in 2009 Topps. But this card is an alternate version of card number 660, and oftentimes the subjects were linked, both the active player and the retired short print. So I don't know this for sure, I should have looked it up, but maybe card number 660 in the 2009 Topps set might be David Ortiz or Dustin Pedroia, and then this Yastrzemski would be sometimes referred to as like 660B. It's an alternate or variation card. These weren't impossible pulls by any means when they were introduced, or at any point in their lifetime really, but they weren't easy pulls either. Here's another one from 2009, Wade Boggs, and I believe this was taken after his 3,000th career hit. Really cool, and you don't see a lot of Boggs Tampa Bay Rays cards, or at least I don't, compared to the other teams that he played with. But these fell, I think, about one every 80 to 90 hobby packs back in 2009. So you would get one every four or so hobby boxes, and there were 3 dozen subjects on the checklist. So not impossible cards, but you don't run across them all that often either. And in some cases, they can get a little bit pricey or hard to track down. And they often feature amazing photography, like we see here on both the Yaz and the Boggs. Just really, really great photos on these cards, almost like Stadium Club-esque photography. And they're just a really fun way to get your favorite retired player on an active card design, which is something that I really, really dig, but in a way that's a little bit more scarce and tough to come across versus getting like a Topps Archives base card or something like that. There's a little bit of a chase element to these, and while they're not expensive, they do cost a few bucks each, or upwards from there in most cases, so there's a good feeling when you track one down. They're just scarce enough to make them fun without making them cost prohibitive. And this program continued in the flagship, Series 1, Series 2, and update releases from 2009. I think there was a year missed, maybe 2015, maybe a couple years missed. But in general, the program lasted through 2022, which you see an example here from 2022 Topps update of a really nice Satchel Page card. So same idea, same program, both pack inserted in the flagship Topps release. And I don't know how the odds went over time or if these were any easier or tougher to pull, but they remained a relatively tough pull throughout their existence. So cool card there. Sadly, Topps did kill off the program, it looks like, for 2023 and 2024. So it looks like Topps Chrome Gilded collection, as I've mentioned before, is probably the way to get those retired players on the designs from those years. But prior to that, from 2009, through 2022, these offered a great alternative. So let's look at a few more. That's enough gabbing. Here's a cool one from 2013. Noma in the American League All-Star uniform there from 2000. Yeah, these are just really, really cool. This is one of my absolute favorites. Card that I don't see shown too often. Joe DiMaggio. Look at the photograph on that. I mean, that is just awesome. I don't recall, I'm not an expert again by any means, but I don't recall seeing this photograph used on too many other cards, at least not any that I have in my collection. And I just love like the colorized look of this. And it's just a classic baseball shot. And again, as I say, like every time I show these modern cards of retired greats, like not everybody can go out and just pick up a playing era Joe DiMaggio card. That's cost prohibitive for, I would say, the majority of collectors. And so if that is the case, you can go out and get a card like this with a great image that has some scarcity and value to it for less than $20. Last time I checked, maybe even $10 with a little bit of searching around. So love that, Joe D. And I'm definitely going to beat a dead horse here as we get through all these, but the photography throughout on these inserts is just, or variation cards, is just fantastic. And here's another example of that. Check out this 2012 Willie Mays post swing, admiring his moonshot, heading out maybe over the outfield fence there. I love this photograph. Actually won this one from a fellow collector back in my days of running a card blog prior to moving over to YouTube. That was a contest prize that I won, that Willie Mays. Here's another one, the great Bambino himself, also from 2012 Topps. So we've got Mays, Ruth, and DiMaggio all here from 2012. Just a classic shot of the Babe. And then I've got the majority of the ones that I pulled are from 2011. I have a lot of these from this year. I think it was just a point in time where I was kind of snatching these up on ComC and really just getting into how cool they were. So let's just go through this. First stack here is from the 2011 Topps Flagship release. We've got Hank Aaron, and I think this is Seals Stadium in Oakland, if I'm not mistaken. I recognize those red rails and handlebars there, but really nice Hank. My guy, Nolan Ryan, with the Mets. Love that card. A very young Nolan Ryan, obviously. He only stuck with them for first couple years of his career. Tom Seaver with the unfamiliar White Sox uniform there. And they did make, in 2011, I think this is maybe the only year they did this, they included these Legends short prints in the parallel cards as well. So here's like a Hope Diamond version of the same Tom Seaver card, numbered to 60. I think in all the other years, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, these retired Legends didn't get the parallel treatment. There's just the base card and that's it. But in 2011, we got, Cognac Anniversary and Hope Diamond and all the great 2011 parallels you could get of these players as well. Moving on now with the rest of the 2011 stack. The not often talked about Paul Molitor. Doesn't get a lot of love for him being a member of the 3000 Hit Club. This is one of my favorites here. I love the bunting in the background on this Sandy Koufax. Check it out. I mean, that is just an awesome Koufax card. I have a couple of vintage Sandy Koufax cards, but I can truly say that I love this one just as much because this photograph is better than anything that exists on any of those. And these, again, yeah, they just represent an awesome and economical way to get some unique, cool photographs of your favorite players on the legendary Topps Flagship design, which is, Topps Flagship is king in baseball as far as I'm concerned. It's a nice Expos card there. Larry Walker, who's also a great hockey player. How about Ozzie Smith with the Padres? Early career shot of him as well. Next up, really dig this one, and it's a fit for my other collecting pursuit this year. Monty Irvin here with the New York Giants. And this is a photo I have seen used on other cards, but love to see that here. I have a few of the parallel versions of this card as well. Next up, I have two of this one. Just ended up with doubles by mistake, or just found a deal that was too good to pass up. I mean, I used to get these on ComC sometimes for like $1, or certainly under $2. I don't think it's as easy to do that anymore, but a couple of Tris speakers, Cleveland. And then we close out the 2011 stack here with Andre Dawson, the Hawk. And then I have one more small stack we'll get through. I'm going to try to keep this video around 10 minutes. This next stack is from 2011 Topps Update, and then we'll call it there. So how about Big Train, Walter Johnson running the bases and about to cross home there. That's a really cool image versus a pitching shot. You don't see that often. Jimmy Fox, double X. Of course, I picked this one up being a Red Sox fan and collector at the time. Got a really nice Reggie. Love the Oakland uniform on this one. And the foil work is really good on these. When I tilt them this way, you can get a better idea for the really nice foil. But I love the 2011 Topps Flagship design. It's just a really classic, timeless looking design. I think it's aged very well. And of course, it's the Mike Trout rookie year as well. So a pretty big year for the hobby. Next up, Johnny Mize here with the Cardinals. Another great image. And then just two left here. Got maybe the best second baseman of all time, Joe Morgan, depicted with the running Reds. And then we're going to close it out with a guy that we've actually already seen. So here in the in the update set, I think I had these confused. Here's the base version to go with it of Hank Aaron. So certain players, Hank Aaron, Nolan Ryan, come to mind, would get more than one short print legend variation card in a certain year. And in this case, I happen to track down both Hammer and Hanks. So that is everything that I pulled for today. And just a brief, certainly not exhaustive look, but a brief look at these really cool cards from Topps. I commend them for a job well done on that program. I was kind of sad to see it come to an end, although I have been enjoying collecting these same players in Gilded collection over the last 2 seasons. But appreciate you stopping by. I hope you enjoyed some of these. If you own any of these, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Or if not, maybe your thoughts on these. But I certainly enjoy them, and I certainly appreciate your time and support. And I'll be back soon with some more content. Till then, enjoy the hobby, everybody. See ya.